lives a perfect life in a big city with husband Jack. She's beautiful and works as an executive assistant in a multinational firm. Powerful boss calls her in early. The office is empty. His gaze holds a strange intensity she can't ignore. David smiles. "You've made my day, Alex." Her heart races, but she stays silent, feeling a tension that wasn't there before. David asks quietly if she's happy. Alex says nothing, confused by the feelings stirring inside her. His words linger long after she leaves. At home, Jack prepares dinner with love. Alex lies about her day, hiding the truth behind a smile. Her heart feels heavy with secrets. Late that night, David calls. "I think I'm falling in love with you." Alex's silence speaks louder than words. Her pulse quickens with guilt. Jack notices her quiet mood. "Everything okay?" She lies again. Meanwhile, David sends a message. Alex dresses carefully the next day, her heels and fragrance chosen for David. At the office, "You've stolen my heart." David offers a promotion, wanting her closer. Alex's eyes hold questions, but she says nothing. Her loyalty and temptation clash inside her. At home, Jack senses her distance. She lies about tiredness again. Her nights grow restless as David's calls invade her thoughts. David promises power and money for one night with him. Alex wrestles with temptation, her mind torn between love and ambition. Jack gently wakes her. "You seem off." She forces a smile and avoids the truth, hiding the secret burning in her heart. Her reflection in the mirror shows the same face, but inside, a dangerous allure simmers. The message on her phone reads, Scene 14. At work, David greets her with praise. "You look stunning." She lowers her eyes, trapped in a web of desire and guilt. During tea, David's stare feels heavy. "You're special," he says softly. Alex's silence speaks of her inner turmoil. Evening falls. She lies about a work party to Jack. The lie feels heavier than before, weighing down her conscience. David picks her up in a luxury car. His cologne masks cheap intentions. Alex walks into the hotel, her heart breaking in silence. In the room, David tells her to relax. Alex nods, but her heartbeat is erratic. Jack's face flashes in her mind, a ghost she can't shake. David whispers promises of a new life. Alex sits frozen, trapped between regret and a dark promise of success. Morning light brings shame. David sleeps unaware while Alex quietly leaves. Everything precious feels lost. A letter waits. "I know everything. I'm leaving." Alex's world collapses into tears and silence. Her voice shook. "Am I being arrested?" "Not yet. But if you don't cooperate, this might go there." She quietly followed them as co-workers watched in silence. Her shining promotion stripped of its foundation. When a woman crosses her limits, society doesn't just take her honor. It takes her identity too. In the interrogation room, a file was placed before her. "These are your photos with David, call logs, and the promotion letter. Everything is quite clear." Tears filled Alex's eyes. "I made a mistake, but I was coerced." "No one forced you, Miss Alex. Everything was consensual. And in law, both sides are equally responsible." For the first time, she confessed. "Yes, I was involved with David. And I know it was wrong." Officer asked, "Do you know your husband orchestrated the entire case?" Startled, she asked, "Jack?" "Yes," the officer said. "Jack kept quiet but documented everything." Alex felt her soul leave her body. "Does he hate me? Perhaps not. But he'll never look at you the same way you wanted him to." The interrogation ended, and Alex was suspended for a few days. At home, everything looked empty. Jack's presence had vanished. Only the weight of his silent absence remained. Changing gaze, Alex locked herself in her room. For days, she looked at herself in the mirror, then looked away. She couldn't even face herself. After suspension, not a single call came, no messages. Her photos and videos had leaked on social media. People's comments became poison sinking into her heart. She didn't earn that promotion fairly. Everyone knew. Boss's favorite. Now go find respect in court. Those words were no longer on screen. They were slaps to her soul. Jack still came home each day, but in silence. No questions, no complaints. just mute reproach that stung deeper than screams ever could. When those closest turn away, the world's taunts cut deeper than knives. One evening, I went to the market wearing sunglasses and a scarf. But some women recognized me. Isn't that her? Yes. The boss's mistress. Their laughter weighed down my every step. I ran home and faced the mirror. Was I just a body? Were my dreams that cheap? Jack entered the room, closing his eyes. He exhaled softly. How long will you hide from yourself? Let them say what they will. Why are you so afraid of your own truth? Tears escaped my eyes. Because my truth is filthy, Jack. I lied to you, to myself, to everyone. Jack spoke wearily. I'm not punishing you. You've already punished yourself enough. I bowed my head and for the first time asked myself, can I ever forgive myself? Silence can say everything that words never could. The coming morning, I gently opened the door after 3 days. My eyes were swollen. There was a weight in my face. Jack was reading the newspaper. He looked up but said nothing. My voice barely a whisper. Can I make breakfast? Jack nodded and I went to the kitchen. My hands trembled as I cracked an egg. Every sizzle echoed the burning guilt inside me. Everything that can't be said is often conveyed in silence. When I placed breakfast on the table, Jack simply said, "Thank you. No further words. E.T. ready for your new position." That same day, I stepped outside, not to the office, but to visit a tailor. I wanted to wrap myself in old clothes. The simplicity I felt inside, I wished to wear on my skin as well. Later, I sat on a bench in the park, watching mothers and their children laughing in the sunlight. Their joy triggered a memory of my mother's words. My daughter, when you make a mistake, first see yourself through a mother's eyes. Only then will you understand what true punishment feels like. Tears welled up again in my eyes. I realized I was still punishing myself, and that perhaps this punishment was the first step toward my redemption. That evening, I told Jack softly, I spent another day fighting myself. He looked at me and replied with a single sentence. And you are winning, Alex. Slowly. You are winning. A shifted mind and old hurts. The next morning, I made a decision. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm returning to work. Jack watched me, seeming to understand how hard that step would be. What if people talk? He asked gently. In a soft but steady voice, I said, then I'll listen and endure, but I will not stop. I grabbed my old bag and headed back to the company. Every step shook me inside, but my face carried a new light. Not shame, but courage. At the office entrance, the receptionist looked up in surprise and then quietly greeted me. I sensed shock, sarcasm, and quiet resentment. Yet I walked forward with my head held high. Sometimes the greatest battles aren't with those who break you. They're with those who keep reminding you of your past. In the boardroom, men exchanged glances. A female colleague zipped her purse as though sitting next to me was a crime. During the meeting, my boss didn't even look my way, but I gave my answers anyway. Maybe he sensed I had changed. His pride was a silent blow. At lunch, I sat alone until a junior colleague approached and said, I've heard so much about you, but today was different. You're truly brave. A tear slipped down my cheek, and I managed a small smile. One message, one heartbeat. On my second day back, I walked in with greater confidence. Despite yesterday's whispers, I glowed with a quiet resolve. I focused on my work, no complaints, no attention, just silent strength. As I closed my laptop that evening, a notification popped up. One new email from Mr. D. Williams, my boss, the man who entangled me in love, power, and scandal. My fingers trembled as I opened it. I watched you today. Still strong. Still sharp. Let's talk, privately. You know where to find me. Sometimes, those who burn you promise to shine a light. But is it only another excuse to set you aflame? I drew in a shaky breath. Was this manipulation? A delayed knock from my conscience? Did he want forgiveness, or did he want to feel victorious? At home, I said nothing. Jack was cheerfully cooking dinner. unaware of the storm inside me. I remained silent. Before bed, I looked at the email again and again. I started a reply several times, then deleted it. At last, I sent just 2 words. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. The next morning, I was ready early, calm, composed, but with a hurricane beating in my chest. Was I really going to meet him? Was this the second act, or the final one? Facing the past. At 7 that evening, wearing a deep navy jacket, my hair simply tied, I arrived at the old building that once dominated my life, David Williams's former office, now used only for personal encounters. The door opened slowly. The same scent, champagne, leather, fading memories, lingered in the air. David Williams sat on the couch, confidence intact, that same half-smile, as if time had changed nothing. "Well," he said softly, "you actually came." I met him from a distance. "Yes, I came, but I am not the woman you imagine me to be." He chuckled. Still the same eyes, the same demeanor. I exhaled deeply and steeled myself. When a wound stays in the heart, old words don't just return. They return as questions. "You destroyed me," I accused, my voice trembling but strong. David fell silent for a moment. "I tested you, Alex, and you gave in." "No, you lost me." Big difference. The silence was heavy. The room seemed to echo my truth. "I miss how you used to fight me, burning with fire," he admitted. Now my eyes held flames, not tears. "I don't save that fire for you anymore." He motioned for me to sit. "One last word, and then you are free to go forever." I paused before sitting. "Speak." His tone softened, maybe even honest. "I lost myself when I lost you, and now I realize I want you again. So just listen." I managed a cold response. "Once I listened, and paid the price. Now you will listen." That moment marked the start of a new war, of words unspoken, eyes unblinking, and silent promises made. That afternoon, Alex opened the file David had given her. It revealed a political scandal, several deaths, and names that could shake the nation to its core. But the biggest shock lay at the end of the file. Her own name. She froze. "Why me?" At that exact moment, her phone buzzed with a message from a private number. "Alex, what you know could kill you. Come to the back of the old library. Alone. Tonight at 9. "What? You left it there yourself?" "I didn't touch it." Jack sounded confused. "Someone's been here. Someone took it." Her voice trembled. Jack switched on his phone's flashlight and searched the entire apartment. The windows were shut, the doors locked. But one thing was missing, a photo of Alex's mother. "This is all connected, Jack?" Alex's voice broke. "My childhood, my family, my identity, it was all a lie." Jack took her hand. "We'll find the truth together. You're not alone." But Alex knew. Some truths scare even those who swear to stand by you. The secret her mother hid. Alex sat against the wall, breath heavy, eyes vacant. Jack stood in front of her, speechless. "I need that photo back," she whispered. "It held the key to my past." "We'll find it, I promise," Jack said gently. Alex pulled out a file she'd been hiding for years, one she never dared to open. "It belonged to my mother. Maybe it's time." When files are opened, truths emerge, and hearts break. With trembling hands, Alex opened it. Inside, a handwritten letter from her mother. "If you're reading this, I'm no longer with you, and you're ready to know what I hid." It revealed her mother's true identity, a spy on a covert mission. Her real name erased. "Jack, my mother was an agent, and the name Alex, it's a cover. I'm not even who I thought I was." Jack stepped forward. "No matter who you are, you're the person I'd give everything for." But Alex knew, the next step could cost them everything. The mother's final mission. At dawn, Alex stood before a hidden cave deep in the forest, the site of her mother's final mission. Jack stood beside her, both alert. "I can feel someone's here," she whispered. Jack drew his knife and stepped inside the cave. Sometimes the places that shelter us are the most dangerous. The walls were lined with maps and classified files. A hidden drawer held a glowing flash drive and a note. "This is for you, Alex. If you found it, you are worthy of being my daughter." The drive held evidence against a secret organization now hunting Alex. Suddenly, footsteps. "You finally came, Alex." A familiar voice, Zyra. Her mother's old partner, and maybe her betrayer. Zyra unmasked. Zyra stepped from the shadows, smiling coldly. "Alex, your mother always thought you were weak, but you proved you're her true heir." Alex stood still, her eyes sharp. "You killed her, didn't you?" Zyra laughed. "No, Alex. Your mother sacrificed herself to protect you and to bury her sins." Jack stepped forward. "Speak clearly, Zyra. The truth is a knife. It cuts through hearts and between relationships." Zyra pulled out a flash drive. "This has everything. Your mother was an assassin. She killed for the government. She never looked back." Alex's eyes glistened, but her voice stayed strong. "And you? Who did you work for?" "Our enemies." "I work to survive, Alex. Join me. Let's finish your mother's mission. But on our terms." Jack whispered, "Don't trust her. It's a trap." Alex's breath was steady. Her mother's truth, Zyra's deception, the threat ahead. She trusted one thing now, herself. The night of choice. The cave echoed with silence. Zyra stepped closer, her voice smooth. "You have time, Alex. Think. Join me and we win." Alex took the flash drive, locking eyes with her. "Your idea of winning is control. I want freedom, mine, my mother's, everyone's." Jack stood silently, hand on his pistol. Zyra warned, "Choose now, with me or against me. The real danger isn't always in front of you. It's the doubt hiding in your heart." Alex opened the drive, played a video, her mother on a secret mission, and beside her, Zyra, not as a traitor but as a trusted friend. "What is this? You told me she was the enemy," Alex shouted. For the first time, guilt flickered across Zyra's face. "She was my last mission, but I fell in love with her. And when she wanted to leave it all behind, I didn't stop her." A flicker of sympathy crossed Alex's heart, but then her mother's death returned like a storm. "Love and betrayal can't walk the same path, Zyra. You let my mother die, and I can never trust you again." In the silence of the cave, only one choice echoed. Alex pulled her hand away. "Your game is over." An attack hidden in smoke. The cave suddenly grew heavy with tension. Alex had just turned away when sensors hidden inside the walls picked up movement. The entire cave began to tremble. "Alex, this place is rigged to blow. We need to move now," Jack yelled. Alex ran, but behind her, Zyra's voice rang out. "Whatever you believe, I can still save you." Alex turned. "If you really can, then show us the way, or let us die." Zyra hesitated, then tapped something on her bracelet. A secret door opened in the cave wall. A massive explosion echoed behind them. The whole cave began to collapse. At the tunnel's end, Alex saw light and shouted, "Just a little more." At the final step, Zyra turned back and said, "This is your second chance, Alex. Follow me, reshape the world, or lose everything again." Alex replied coldly, "You're not my mother, and you're no god." And she ran toward the light. They tumbled onto the ground outside, faces smeared with mud and blood, breaths heavy and shaken. Jack looked around. This isn't an ordinary forest. Alex looked toward the sky. Something about the shadows of the trees felt wrong. Why is it so quiet? No birds, no sounds. Something's not right. Zyra spoke hesitantly. "This place is called the Dark Region. Whoever comes here never returns." Alex took a deep breath. "Then why did we come back?" Jack said calmly, "Because going forward is less dangerous than turning back. Sometimes the enemy isn't behind the tree. It's inside you." As they stepped forward, a shadow darted behind the trees. Alex instantly drew her knife. "Who's there? Show yourself." A dagger landed near Jack's feet. Thought I was dead, didn't you? The voice was shaky, but familiar. Riven stepped from behind the trees, the traitor from Alex's old team. Her past. Her eyes turned cold. So, you're still alive? Riven smirked. The question isn't why I'm alive. It's why you are. Tension returned like a thick fog. Zyra and Jack stood ready. Alex whispered, "An unfinished betrayal always comes back. Old wounds, new sparks." Riven took a step forward, holding the same dagger he once used to betray them. Alex narrowed her eyes. "What do you want now?" Riven answered, "Just one chance to prove myself." Jack jumped in. "A chance? You left us to die." Zyra leaned in and whispered, "This guy, is he your old friend or your old enemy?" Alex replied coldly, "I could never tell the difference. Loyalty is often claimed, when betrayal is already caught." Riven bowed his head. "I was wrong, but I've changed." Alex's voice trembled. "Changed people don't give excuses. They give sacrifices." Suddenly, there was movement in the trees. A muffled explosion. An arrow landed near Zyra. "We're surrounded," Jack called out. Riven stepped forward. "Let me go. I can stop them." Alex locked eyes with him. For a second, trust or suspicion. Finally, she said, "Go, but betray me again, and it'll be your last breath." Riven vanished into the trees. The three of them readied themselves. An old enemy, maybe about to become an unlikely ally in a new war. On the edge of trust, morning fog still hung heavy when an eerie silence fell. Jack looked at the sky. This is the kind of silence that comes before a storm. Alex gripped her bow. "They're close, and they're coming." Riven still hadn't returned. Zyra was anxious. What if he really did leave us again? Alex growled. "If he did, we're enough to face them. The one who promises to return is often the first to stab you." There was a blast from the trees, smoke rose, enemies emerged, firing arrows. Alex, Jack, and Zyra held their ground, but the attackers were many. "That's the same group that burned the village," Jack shouted. Suddenly, Riven reappeared, wounded but fighting the enemy. Alex's eyes softened slightly. Did he come to save us, or to clear his name? The battle roared. Explosions, arrows, and screams filled the forest. An enemy lunged at Zyra, but Riven threw himself forward. The dagger pierced his arm. "This is the debt I owe, and I intend to repay it," Riven gasped. The war had brought them together again, but deep inside questions still burned. The noise of silent questions. Night had fallen. Moonlight filtered through the trees. Alex sat under a tree, dressing Riven's wounds. "Don't thank me," she said coldly. "I'm cleaning a wound, not saving you." Riven lowered his eyes. "I don't know how to make you believe me." Alex locked eyes with him. "Trust isn't built with words. It's earned with time. When your enemy sits beside you, keep both your heart and your dagger ready." Jack stood guard nearby. Zyra sat apart, but her ears were listening. "Do you know why we still doubt you?" Alex asked softly. Riven's voice was weary. "Because what happened to you might happen again. And I remind you of him." Tears shimmered in Alex's eyes, but her voice stayed firm. "Yes, you remind me of him in every way." A long moment of silence passed. Then Alex slowly stood up. "Your life won't be decided by war, but by trust, and that's still broken." She walked away, leaving behind only Riven's motionless eyes and a wounded heart. The swamp and the choice. Morning sunlight gently filtered through the forest canopy. Alex led the way. The others followed behind. "The ground ahead is soft, be careful," she warned. Jack glanced around. "This looks like a swampy area." Riven paused. "We should go right. The ground is drier that way." Alex replied coldly, "I've chosen the path. No questions. When the ground begins to pull at your feet, the choice becomes not a mistake, but a punishment." Just a few steps ahead, Zyra's leg began to sink into the swamp. "Help me," she screamed. Jack and Riven rushed toward her. Alex turned back. It was my mistake. Everyone stepped back. Alex pulled out a rope. Riven held the other end. 1, 2, 3. They dragged Zyra out. She was trembling. Alex admitted before everyone, I chose the wrong path. From now on, I'll lead, but I'll listen too. Riven said softly, we're a team, and in a team, there's no room for ego, only trust. Taking a deep breath, Alex looked at Riven with affirmation for the first time. The poisoned spring. The heat of the day had dried everyone's lips. In the heart of the jungle, a stream shimmered with hope. Finally, water. Jack ran forward. Zyra bent down to taste it, but Alex shouted, wait, test it first. Not every stream is trustworthy. Riven picked some leaves nearby. The plants here are wilted. That means something's wrong with the water. Alex narrowed her eyes at the stream. The water's blue, too blue. A clear sign of danger. When life and death are one sip apart, it's not logic, but patience that saves you. The thirst was becoming unbearable. Riven said, if we go much longer without water, someone could collapse. Zyra sat down, dizzy. Alex quickly wrung out her cloth to collect droplets from nearby tree branches. Nature protects us, if we have patience. Jack spotted a bamboo tree nearby. These hold water. Come on. They cut the bamboo and drank the natural water. Zyra was given the first sip. Gratitude filled her eyes. Alex looked around. This jungle wants to kill us, but we can still save each other, if we stay united. The venomous night attack. It was nighttime, the silence broken only by chirping insects. Jack, Zyra, Riven, and Alex tried to sleep under a makeshift tent. But Alex remained awake. One moment of carelessness, and this jungle will finish us, he muttered. In the moon's dim light, a long black snake slithered toward the tent. Zyra shifted in her sleep, unaware. Sometimes, between a breath and the poison, only one eye stays awake. Alex heard the hiss and immediately sat up. He had only a stick in his hand. The snake crept near Zyra's feet. One moment, one decision. Alex hurled the stick and pushed the snake away. Get up! It was a snake! He shouted. Everyone woke up in panic. Jack lit a torch. The snake had vanished into the bushes. Zyra said with a trembling voice, if you hadn't been awake, I might not be alive. Alex replied quietly, I won't sleep. Not until this jungle accepts us as its own.